Year-long lockdown impacted on your sex drive? Have you always had motivation to work out, or was it something, have you ever experienced painful sex? If so, right, okay. Hello, we are back with another episode of this Girl Talk series. I'm so excited for this video. As I was putting my makeup on, I was thinking how much I'm really looking forward to filming this. I asked you guys over on my Instagram about 2 weeks ago for some new questions and stuff, and you guys, as always, delivered. I had a brief look and I was thinking, oh my god, some of these are actually wild. But yeah, grab yourself a drink. I've got a Coke Zero here. This is this new one, isn't it? Like, I really like this. This tastes way nicer than like the old version. Yeah, just so they've got a new taste. I couldn't tell if they'd just changed like their branding or something. Before we jump into it, if you could hit this video with a like, it really helps and supports my channel. I do get kind of nervous with these sometimes, just because I never know what to expect, but I kind of like it. If this is the first time watching this style video, I thought this was a really good idea for a series, just because I think there's so many subjects that are taboo, like mainly amongst women, and personally I've always been quite like an open person, and I'll speak about sort of anything with like my close friends and stuff. I just thought this would be a good series to do, just based on, you know, say if you've got certain questions or like circumstances that you're not comfortable like opening up about with like a friend or family member. Especially when I was younger, I feel like there was that, does anyone remember Ask FM? Do you remember that? I think it was quite broadly used saying that, but I remember I think that was like early secondary school, so I'll have been in like year 7, 8. That was really popular at the time, and that is where you'd send like random questions in, like anonymous, to like people in your U group or something. How do you prevent camel toe in no front seam leggings? The ones without the seam at the front, I actually find give me way less of a camel toe, but I generally just go for like seamless leggings. Gymshark have got a good selection of those. You can get like some thongs, have got like this weird seam at the front which gives you like a camel toe that's not there. Yeah, seamless underwear is really good for that. Just depends how you hoist them up, I think, as well. Like a lot of leggings you can sort of shimmy about. But the other thing is as well, like we are female, we do have it's completely normal. Next one, how to end it with a guy that you love but just isn't doing it for you anymore. Oh, this is such a sad, this makes my heart hurt a little bit. I think the best thing you could do for that guy, especially if you still love him, is just to be honest and have a conversation. I know how difficult that will be, but honestly I can guarantee he'll probably appreciate your honesty much more than, you know, like I feel like sometimes females seem to exit relationships for maybe like a year or two, like just not really be like mentally there and know that you're not happy or whatever, but you're sort of giving it a go. Whereas I think if you just sit down with your boyfriend and have the conversation and just say there's certain things that you don't like that he does anymore, or just your relationship in a whole, I just think have that conversation, tell him how you feel, because he will appreciate that. And just think of how you would, if he might be feeling the exact same. So yeah, bring that conversation up and just take it from there really. But I think the worst thing people can do is like long out a relationship that's finished, or you're not really like mentally there or like in love as such anymore. What do you do when you're having a time in life where you just feel ugly 24/7 no matter what? Obviously we all have like days and stuff where we're just not feeling like our best self, and if this has been like a constant thing, I would probably say you might be, or just going off like my experience, it could be that you're comparing too much to social media or people at work or like your friends or something. So I would consciously take some time off of social media and focus more like on yourself. I don't understand airy fairy, but just being like practice gratitude daily, like do that for, say, even try it for like 2 weeks, just like minimize your time on social media and just focus on being like grateful for what you have as a person. Get it down to like pen and paper, writing down what you love about yourself, not just like external qualities but like internal stuff as well, and just realize that there's no such thing as being perfect or a perfect human. If you're trying to look like, how can I say it, like your power is in your originality, like there's only one you on this whole earth, and you know, you are beautiful as you are. You don't need to compare to anyone else or anything like that. A lot of stuff that you see as well, mainly on social media, is fake. So it's kind of pointless and just draining to constantly be comparing or wishing you looked like someone else. To deal with losing friends at home while being at uni. Anon, please. So I actually remember this, like when I moved away. So I moved to London for uni. Obviously all my friends were like in Yorkshire and stuff, and I found that quite difficult because, say, if some of them stayed kind of local, like I'd see that they were doing stuff all the time, and obviously I was all the way in London, and I remember feeling like, oh god, like I'd go back and visit and they'd have jokes and I'd be like, oh my god, like guys, like I've not been here. Just know that like true friends, you can keep in touch with them and stuff like that and visit them. Like, I went to see like my friends and stuff like when they were at different unis, like Liverpool, things like that. Go and visit, but then make a real effort as well to make like a conscious effort with your new friends that you're making at uni, or make more of an effort to meet more people and stuff. Put yourself out there a little bit more. It's not going to be comfortable. Thoughts on women who do OnlyFans? You probably know what it is, but it's like a website, I think, where you sell like exclusive content for a subscription fee. I think it's mainly like sort of, is it like more nude stuff, bikini stuff? I've never like bought, well obviously I've never really bought a subscription there, so I don't fully know like what's on there as such. I have obviously looked on there. Yeah, my thoughts on it, like, you do you, boo. Like, it's none of my business. I don't judge any, I would never judge someone for like selling exclusive content or whatever. I don't know how similar it is to like porn as such, but I do think OnlyFans is going a different direction. Like, it's more selling like exclusive content for other stuff like courses and stuff. Like, I think my email recently, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did get an email from OnlyFans asking if I wanted to sell some courses on there or something. But as a whole, I think, because it's not, I don't know, some of it can be like soft porn, is it? Or like can be like bikini shots, or it wouldn't be something I'd do personally. However, I do think a lot of girls, you know, who say if mainly all their Instagram is bikini shots, say, so like maybe if they could transfer, like if they want to transfer that content onto OnlyFans, like why wouldn't they do that, if that makes sense? If they can monetize it that way, if they would already be doing that on their Instagram, like I just don't see the problem. Wedgies, are they a good look or not? I mean, who am I to say like what's good look or not, but I love a gym wedgie. So all my leggings, I hoist up my bum. I think they look way more flattering, and that's always how like I wear my leggings. So in my opinion, yeah, I love a gym wedgie. That sounds weird, doesn't it? But you get my vibe. Next one, has year-long lockdown impacted on your sex drive? Year-long lockdown. So to be honest, like the lockdown hasn't actually changed too much for Mason and I. Like, we've been together way over like 3 years now, and we've been basically in each other's back pockets. Not sexually, but we've been in each other's back pockets, like living together ever since we got together, to be honest. So it didn't change too much, obviously, apart from not being able to like do as much. We definitely both got sort of higher sex drive, so that's not really been an issue, but it's just all about like spicing things up, trying new things as well. I think that helps keep things like more exciting. Next is feeling like you're naturally drifting from old friends. So yeah, this is so natural, especially as like we're growing up and stuff. I think it kind of feels a bit sad sometimes, doesn't it? Because like, I've met up with, say, older friends, and I'm just kind of like, wow, like we're so different now, but in the best way possible. Yeah, it's normal to sort of outgrow people. You change so much as a person, interests change, topics of conversations change, like you go into like different stages of your life. Don't dwell on what you're feeling like you're losing, just focus on sort of like keeping growing, and your past might cross again in the future. You don't need to like rule things out as such. Take a little sip of this, and oh my god, I nearly choked. Okay. I've ever suffered from vaginal itching. If I've shaved wrong, you know, like, I don't know, just done a rush job or used a razor which doesn't have like the, you know, the little gel things on your razor pads. I feel like when it grows back, it can get like irritated and itchy. I'm getting laser for I think a year now. Obviously we had a big break with like COVID and stuff, but I found that has helped so much with like my hair growth and things like that. So next, how do you balance your independence and relationship? When we first got together, I feel like we were really in that like honeymoon phase where we just did literally everything together, and I didn't really want to spend time with anyone else. Obviously every relationship's different. There's no like right or wrong way. Make sure you have like your own separate friends, as well as like having like some couple friends as well that you can do stuff with. Make sure you've got time to yourself. Like, I think that's so important. I love like time on my own as well, and yeah, keeping like that female energy with your other female friends and keeping in touch with your family and stuff just helps things. Yeah, I think independence is key, otherwise you're just going to end up resenting like your partner and stuff, because they're not going to be able to fill all your needs and stuff all the time. Next one, thoughts on smartwatches. I love like the contrast, don't you, here? Like, I think they're great. They're not 100% accurate. Don't ever take them as like face value. Like, mine tells me like my supposed like what calories I've burnt, and they're not always accurate. I mainly use mine for tracking my steps. That's about it really. I think you can get more advanced ones. I do think they're great tools because it's another thing that you can use to hold yourself accountable, and I think accountability is key for setting any small or big goal. Have you always had motivation to work out, or was it something you've worked on? Oh god, like yeah, you can't rely on motivation. I'm definitely not always motivated. I haven't always been. There's days I'll skip workouts, there's days days where I've got loads of motivation. Like, we're all just human, and I think it can easily get portrayed on social media that like you're motivated all the time, because people tend to talk about, like, they talk the most, I guess, on your good day. Say if I'm having a bad day, sorry, I don't feel like talking to anyone, if that makes sense. So it's just like different coping mechanisms for people. So on a whole, yes, I'm not always motivated. I don't think anyone is, and you're completely normal, but it's just sort of pushing through. Like, if you set yourself a goal, it comes down to discipline rather than motivation. And I think if motivation is just not there at all for you, it could be because you don't want that specific goal, or whatever it is you're trying to like work on. So if it is working out, get more specific with what goal you're after and why. Like, ask yourself why you want whatever that is, because that'll usually be the reason why you're not like following it up with actionable, like an actionable back foot, what? Are you having any digestion problems after all those meals? I don't know what you mean by all those meals. No, actually, digestion is never something that I have struggled with, to be quite honest. I feel like I have quite a lot of like soluble, like easily digestible meals as well. Does your weight fluctuate a lot? Yeah, I'm gonna say it does. I don't really weigh myself often for that reason, to be honest. Different times of the day, obviously we all weigh differently, so yes, I would say it does fluctuate a lot. Like, tan do you use? So I really like Bondi Sands Ultra, I think it's called. Not the ultra dark, it's like a medium one. It smells so nice. It's got a really nice like coconut scent. I love that. I'm trying to dig out the juicy ones. What do you and Mason think on the subject of cheating? Love this question. So we feel exactly the same. Like, we do not like cheating, and trust. Loyalty is the most important thing in a relationship for it to work. From the get-go, we've always been so open, and we never lie or anything like that. So if a relationship doesn't have trust, obviously it's just not like, it's not worth anything. Next, how often do you wash your hair? Depends kind of like how sweaty I've got, but I'll try wash my hair maybe every 3 to 4 days, just depending on how sweaty I've got. If I feel like I can push it, I will. It's so much better for your hair not to be putting heat on it and washing it all the time. Contraception, what are you on? As I mentioned briefly earlier, I'm not currently on anything. The current method is the pull-out method, or we'll use condoms. I know it's not ideal, but I just personally don't want to ever put another pill into my body. It just didn't agree with me well at all. I didn't feel like myself. Also, an app that I use called Natural Cycles, which is really good for tracking, but do bear in mind, like, these are not 100% accurate. I would hate someone to get pregnant going off my recommendations. It's just a personal preference. If you're not wanting to get pregnant, definitely use something, a condom. Have you ever spotted in the gym? So I'm guessing this is like period talk, and yes, and not just the one time. Like, it's happened a few times, more when like sometimes if I've come on my period like a day earlier than I expected, and I'd be mid-workout, and yeah, not great, absolutely awful. And I have had to obviously get out of the gym ASAP, put a hoodie around my waist and abandon the workout for that reason. Hip thrusting, that was not pretty. Jason had to walk behind me and it was super embarrassing. I'm happy to talk about this because it happens to us all. Red flags. Oh my god, it's been so long. Obviously, like, I haven't been single in a long time, so let me think. It depends what stage, but like, say if someone's really dodgy with their phone when you've been, say if you've been seeing each other a while, or you're like exclusive, if they're dodgy, like they have it like this all the time, you know, like on the surface, that's a red flag for me. I would literally be like, what are you doing? What's another one? Another one would be, oh god. So this guy who I was with at the time, I got out of the shower, and like as I was like drying myself and stuff, I like lifted my foot up and there was blonde hair stuck to my feet. And at the time, this guy didn't really have any females in his life. I knew he didn't speak to his mum, he didn't have any sisters or anything. So I was thinking, why on earth are there blonde hairs in this apartment? At the time I had black hair as well, so I was just like, no. So I did some digging, and literally like that was like the first stem. That's how I found out he had been, I think, like, I don't know if he'd been seeing someone else or he just gave me some random excuse, but I caught someone out that way. So that is a massive red flag. What was your first kiss like? I remember I got like the school bus or something to meet this guy that I've been talking to for absolutely ages, and I literally remember like pecking him on the lips and running off. I wasn't even like young as well, which is so funny. Next one, me and my boyfriend lately having sex only once a month. He always says he's tired. What can I do? I think here, I know I keep saying this, but I'd just say communication is the key. And yeah, just say like, look, you know, you don't want to be pleasing yourself like all the time when your man is at home. Say, obviously that's fine, but like, yeah, I think communicate and just say, oh, is like, try and suit like both your needs in terms of like maybe have sex earlier on if he finds, like, say if you get into bed and it's too late, or like obviously circumstances could be completely different. Like say if there's a lot on for him at work at the moment, just look at it with like more of an understanding as well. Sit down with him, like communicate and just say, look, like we've not been having sex as much, like does he want to communicate anything? Like I think something that's quite unspoken about as well is like a lot of men can actually lack a lot of confidence in the bedroom, which might sound like ridiculous, but I do think that is really true as well. So he could be sort of going through something that he's not comfortable to speak about, or it could just be, you know, things might not be working at the moment, so you could spice things up, but just communicate with him first. I would say that. Do you incorporate drinking into your lifestyle? I feel like sometimes I miss out on stuff. Completely know where you're coming from with this one. I do incorporate drinking, like say it's mainly like say if I go out for dinner. Oh, I like that, dinner and drinks with like some of my girlfriends or whatever. I love a cocktail, I love a porn style martini, and sometimes I won't drink, but yeah, I don't mind. Like I love having a cocktail or whatever. Oh god, I absolutely love filming this video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I tried to answer as many as I can. I was just conscious that I didn't want to end up going on and on and on, because all of these are just so good, and I definitely love to like keep doing these kind of videos. They're really fun, and it's nice just to, I feel like I get to know you a bit more as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vid, and I'll see you in the next video. And thank you so much for sending in any questions or anything like that, and also just being super vulnerable and sending some of those questions in. I know sometimes it feels a bit awkward to speak about those things, but yeah, I hope this was helpful as well. I'll see you in the next video.